Greetings, podcast friends, here on the final day of 2025, and we've been reviewing our most listened to podcast, and this was the number one most listened to podcast, and it makes me so happy. This is when Brent went to the Cure Hospital in Zimbabwe, and he interviews some friends who went with him, and he just talks about the wonderful mission of Cure, which, of course, is very dear to both of our hearts. And I'm so happy that this is the one you guys listen to most in 2025. So here is that podcast. It was entitled Too Fun. You'll see why. And Happy New Year, friends. Can't wait to spend 2026 with you here on the podcast.
Welcome to the Brant and Sherri Oddcast, sponsored by America's Christian Credit Union. To order Brant's latest book, Life is Hard, God is Good, Let's Dance, or to find out more about the show, go to BrantHansen.com.
Hey, so welcome to the podcast. It's going to sound different and odd and all that, but that's good. It's the Oddcast. I have a couple guests with me who are friends of mine, and we are talking to you from a Cure hospital. We're in Zimbabwe in the south of Africa, and I thought we could talk about some of the stuff we've been seeing today and yesterday, because I know as you're listening, like I've never been there, but I talk about Cure a lot. So I wanted, honestly, to thank the number of people who listen to this podcast and support Cure, because everything we see, it's like, oh my goodness, you made that possible, and it's so good. So my friends here are Brooke from the radio in Grand Rapids, from Joy 99, and Meg from the radio in Pennsylvania, from Word FM. And I am so glad you guys came. Guys, I'm from Midwest.
That's all right, we can take it.
Yeah. You're allowed to say that again.
Yeah, so you might want to scooch on up to this microphone, because otherwise I'll be way louder than you guys, you fellas. So talk to me, like today, what you saw, because this is exciting to me to have other people here. So it's not just me going back to the United States and going, oh my goodness, please get involved with this. And you've worked with me on doing drives, and you've both talked about Cure, but not having been there, so you're kind of taking my word for it, and you've done a great job. But I sometimes feel like I'm the wild guy. It's just crazy about this thing. And then other people are like, yeah, but there's other things too. I'm like, no. Yeah, so do you understand that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well, Meg, talk to me today.
So today, spent time in the operating theater and got to see the surgeons working and training other up-and-coming doctors, other surgeons. So that was an amazing experience, just to see the care that they were taking, but to recognize that it looks a lot like in a hospital room that you'd see in the United States, with a lot of people in the room monitoring vitals, making sure that the patient is comfortable, is doing well with the surgery that's happening. And it's extraordinary.
Do you get grossed out?
No, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I was like, scrub me in.
It's almost a challenge.
I'm ready to hold a scalpel or forceps or anything, or just stand back and stay out of the way.
Cool.
But yeah, so
because that was pretty graphic today.
The burn contracture was very graphic.
Yes. So what happened, and not to sidetrack.
No, all good.
I've been in a lot of these operations, and all of them, there's blood and stuff. But this is a little girl. She's 10. Her name's Thelma, and she suffered burns on her body when she was 10 months. Mm-hmm. She's just a baby, so she's never been able to use her hands. Her elbows don't work. Like, she's not able to use her arms at all. And what they're doing is pretty extensive, because they're having to free up her elbows from the inside and do extensive work on her hands and fingers to free them up from burn contractures. And that means grafts from other parts of her body.
Yeah.
And it honestly doesn't gross me out, but that was the most intense sort of thing I've seen.
Yeah. So we had an opportunity to ask the surgeon, what causes burn contractures, because, you would think that even though the skin is burned, it's not going to pull back on itself. But the surgeon explained that the skin tries to get to its next closest unfazed, undamaged tissue. And so over time, it's a slow
It tightens up.
tightening. But yes, the skin that actually looks like it melts into itself, but that's because it's trying to get back to itself.
I feel dumb for never asking that question before. I mean, I never knew what the mechanism was. I just accepted like that's just what happened.
Well, I had to know because I've seen
immobilized.
burns. Yeah. And Dr. Andrew was explaining later too, even with the elbow when you go in, and that her arm had been that way 9 years. The joint changes because it doesn't have to elongate. The ligaments don't have to elongate.
Right.
All of that
This
stuff.
is a growing child.
Yeah. So she's 10. She's got 4 more years of growth probably for most girls.
So there's the science of it, and that's cool that you went there. But I also am like, this precious little girl has suffered and suffered and suffered and suffered pain, physical pain, and then being mocked, having burns don't just go untreated in the U.S.
No, you would never see. You would never see hands that are folded back on themselves and elbows that are fixed in one position. It wouldn't happen.
One of the wild things, I was thinking about this, Brooke, I can't remember if I was bouncing this off you, but I was just thinking about all the stuff that's happening simultaneously in this building. So as you're listening to this is what's so remarkable about it. You can go, okay, that's one thing, that's happening in one room. In the other room, I walk out, take off the scrubs after watching the same operation, take off the scrubs, walk into the playroom, and then all the kids are in there, and their parents, and their moms, and they're doing a Sunday school lesson, basically, with flannel graph, and they're laughing.
It was amazing.
And then singing songs. Yeah. So you got music, laughing, giggling kids in wheelchairs, and then right over there, it's zzz, we got buzz, like all the orthopedic stuff going on. That's like, they're both expressions of worship.
Yes.
That's a good point.
And then we go to another room, and it's the caregivers, so it's moms just by themselves sharing from their hearts about, you missed this, man.
Yeah.
We were just in there. Talk about that, if you would, Brooke, because I thought that was remarkable for a number of reasons.
Well, so I'm not one of the people like Meg that said I don't get grossed out. I do get grossed out. And I think when I first walked into the theater and saw this precious little girl, their little feet sticking out of the table that they had her on, this is a human being.
Yeah.
This is a precious child of God. And it humanized it all. I know we talk about this back in Grand Rapids in Pennsylvania, and we think, yes, it'd be great to send money there because this is what's going on. But then when you personify it and you put these children and they're people and they have names and they have conditions, and these doctors that could be anywhere, wherever, and be these world-renowned surgeons, and they have some of the best care here in Zimbabwe.
It's fantastic.
Right.
I love that too, because it's like you expect, missions hospital, okay, we're just going to kind of scrap by here, but that's not the attitude. It's like, why do they not deserve top-notch medical? Why is it just us?
Right.
Like, no, we're going to do the absolute best stuff.
And I feel like so many people, and this is me, so I'm going to sound like probably a horrible person, but I just had this 1972 National Geographic perception of what was happening in Africa, and just being here and seeing the care. This is not the doctors are not machines, and they're not one child, then another one goes out, and they talk to the families and the moms and the dads that are here. And there was a dad that was waiting in the other room, and his son was having a test and having surgery, and they didn't know whether it was cancer or the tumor on his shoulder, and you could just see the real pain. This is just it's not a machine. This is. It just became so much more real for me.
So we were going through the ward, and I don't know if you've met this kid. He's 2 years old, and he has casts on both legs, but he's 2. And that kid was remarkable, even though the casts are leg length, so he has no knee options. But he is all over the place, and he's this way. He's got this huge smile. He's over there, and he's doing that. And I looked over to his mom, and most of these ladies don't speak English. Some of them speak a little bit. So I didn't expect her to say anything. But I just said, he's so fun. And she said, too fun. And I thought that was so
That's
funny.
only a mom can do,
Yes.
right?
Okay. So he's just the cutest little guy. And we laughed about him being too fun. So I called him Too Fun. That's his name. He's Too Fun. But we were just in the caregivers group. So it's a big circle of these parents who are going through stuff. And they had a ball, and they would toss it to, randomly to somebody. And that person, this is something that would never happen in the American church, I don't think. They tossed the ball to some random mom. There were a couple guys in there. And then the thing was, say what makes you sad right now. Wow. Or something that hurts your heart. So they would do that. And then they would sing a song, a goofy, happy song about I love the Lord. It's like, I love the Lord, you love the Lord, yeah, we love the Lord. I love the Lord, we love the Lord. And there was a little dance that went with it. And then someone else would say, this is what makes me sad. So, like that lady, that young mom with a 2-year-old was there, she caught the ball. So it's, I love the Lord, yeah, and then do a little silly dance. She said, when I had my boy, he was premature, and his legs were different colors and twisted. And my mom called him a thing.
Oh, no.
And she started crying. And one of the curator ladies went over and hugged her. And then I love the Lord, you love the Lord.
Correct.
Yeah, we love the Lord. And then little dance, and then next person, my husband died in July. And then my dad died. I mean, literally. Just back to back to back to back to back.
The stories that we're hearing, and I feel like we're so protected where we are in the United States that we would complain and moan and groan about a hangnail,
of course,
or some little paper cut, and these women are saying, "I love the Lord, and this is what is happening to my child."
That's the juxtaposition that blew me away. It's like we don't say what makes you sad, unless you put a spin on it at the end of. Everything's good.
Right.
But in the midst of it, that's just part of their culture is like, yes, I love the Lord. This makes me really sad. Let's dance. I love the Lord. I mean, you literally do a little dance every time. And these stories and these kids, so once I met Too Fun, and then I think, he's not, like, called him a thing. But that's not as bad as God. Some of the stories were several of them, my husband abandoned me. Several of them were, they told me to, like, at least one told me they wanted me to kill my child. And then he burst into song. All of this is going on in this building. They don't understand. This is another thing I didn't really get to my head until this trip. So I'm curious about your reactions to this too, because you've been raising money for Cure. They don't really understand that this is free. So we tell them it's free. The staff tells them you don't have to pay. They come in when they're scheduled for their surgery. They're reminded you don't have to pay. They still don't believe it. Most of them. And when they're getting discharged, they're still waiting, knowing that they'll never be able to pay. They're still waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Sure.
And then our staff has to explain, somebody else paid the price for you. And we're very aware, the staff is very aware, this is the gospel being walked out. Like, no, you didn't deserve it. None of us deserve it. But the price is being paid by somebody else. Now, do you believe this? I mean, do you believe this? Like, that is remarkable. I don't know. You guys' reactions to that? I don't know.
We sat in this morning with the Bible teaching. There was with the flannel graph you mentioned.
Yeah.
They went through the creation story, and then one of the pastors, the ward pastor, he presented the gospel and offered anybody who wanted to start walking with Jesus. And we had a mom do that, and that was amazing. We had an opportunity to talk to him afterward to say, how many times do you hear from the parents, like, you're telling us about this good God, and yet my child is this way, has brittle bones, is mocked, is not accepted in society. He said, we hear that a lot. So the opportunity for us to come and say, or for the Cure staff to just keep telling them that their children are beautiful, and that even though their child is like this for now, God is still walking with them. And for them to come to hear that and some hear it over and over again.
Yeah.
We can be praying for the Spirit to be softening their hearts and softening them so that they can hear it and believe it.
Yeah. That's this is a remarkable place, and one reason I love talking about this, like, I would love for people to give, but you don't have to. It's never you have to. What I would like you to know is that this is happening. I would like you to know, because we have so much other stuff coming at us, like a blizzard of information about everything, and distrust in every institution, including church stuff, sometimes especially church stuff. But I want you to know that there are believers, followers of Jesus, in that operating room doing these surgeries, who are doing it at sacrifice to them. It's not a bad one. It's not a heavy burden for them. It's like they're doing okay, but they're making a small fraction of what they would make elsewhere. But those are believers, the people who are cleaning up after these kids, cleaning the kids, doing, like, caring for the moms, and Cure did 18,000 plus surgeries last year. So these are believers, and they're all being paid for by other believers. So that's what I want people to, like, if nothing else, just marvel at that. And when you're cynical about everything, I get it. But let's tell the truth, the flip side. Just because you're not hearing this on the news, there are people that just want to bang away, and I understand that, but it's like, why don't you want to talk about this too?
Yeah.
I think that when you think about all those moms in the room, or all the kids and watching the flannel graph, and that one mom that came to know Jesus today, her path might not have led her to Jesus had it not been for her child being the way, so that she could be surrounded by this staff is amazing.
You're surrounded by these other people too, like the other patients,
the other
moms.
And they were throwing a ball and dancing like they could forget about their trouble for 1 minute, but just be able to express how much they love the Lord through all of this. I just think we're a bunch of spoiled brats.
Well,
I
was just thinking about one little nook in the children's wards. There's 4 beds in each nook, and each one of these had a teenage girl. They're like 16, 14, 18, 17. And I asked the question to one of the moms, like, do they interact much? Because while we were there, they were separate. And like, oh yeah, they love each other. And so you get this gaggle of girls that they all have these very obvious disabilities and have suffered. But now you find each other. And so all the parents are that way too. So now in that circle, when people are sharing what they're sad about, they don't know each other that much until they come. They don't know each other at all until they come here.
And they make themselves so vulnerable.
So vulnerable.
But then when they share with each other, there might be moms that are like, okay, we are one and the same.
Yeah.
And I just love that God put them together. I don't like the way it happened, but I'm glad that they have each other and the staff to encourage them to have relationships with each other.
And it's pretty compelling to become a believer. A lot of these people are culturally, quote unquote, Christian. So for them, it's making a decision, like, I'm actually going to engage with walking with God. So it's not as dramatic as some of the other hospitals where it's like you're dealing with all Muslim and they become believers. But it's still pretty awesome. One of the other things that you got to experience a little bit, you have to see a little bit, but at lunch, you get in a line, right? And it's everybody. I just think that's so cool.
It is, yeah. We've had a gentleman driving us around the last number of days, and that's not his role. It's just he's been filling in that way.
Yeah.
He also sat with us at lunch, and we learned how to. We watched him eat the local food, the way they eat the local food, and we hung on to our forks. But then we also watched a ripe mango fall out of the tree, and he got the knife and he cut it and he started eating it. And just to see the way that he eats a fresh mango compared to how we eat mangoes back in the States, it's like, oh, I'm going to try it that way.
Yeah, y'all started eating it, and it's like, and then another mango hit there's dangers.
Yeah, we were under the mango tree.
Yeah, but it's not often you just have raining food. Like, hey, okay.
Yeah.
And it's not often that the doctors and the nurses and the staff and the parents and even the students that they would be conjugating over lunch.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
we have so many divides, and they're just
and it's a social tier system.
Correct, and they have all the same goal. Every single person in that line has the same goal.
That's what's so cool about it. It's so uniting.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear. I haven't heard at any of these hospitals. There may have been, because humans are humans. But the idea of, what is your theological stance on X or Y? Okay, forget you.
Yeah.
Like, we're too busy doing the stuff. So all these people in line, all these different backgrounds, but it's the surgeons and the patients having lunch together.
Yeah.
Where in the world does that happen? And that's so truly Christian.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's at the party.
Yeah.
It's so truly Jesus.
Yes, breaking bread together, and there's no hierarchy.
He didn't look at anybody and say, "Oh, you're a surgeon. I'm going to sit with you because you're one of the popular kids or whatever."
Yeah.
He would sit with the least of these. It's beautiful.
When you think about the word hospitality means, the best definition I heard was making outsiders insiders. So this is a hospital in the truest sense of the word. Come, whoever you are, burdened as you might be, and we're going to make it lighter, and you're welcome at our table. And there is we laughed on the way here because I sat in zone 2 on the plane. You guys were like zone 6.
Yes.
So I'm like, hey, so I'm already seated, and I'm like, they're walking past me, like, get out of here.
Yeah,
this is my area.
Keep moving.
Yes. But like, there is none of that.
No. I asked the ward pastor what happened with that young mom after her decision to follow Christ here. Like, how does Cure follow up or provide her a network or support so that she can continue her walk? And he said that everyone who chooses to walk with Jesus receives a Bible in the language that they speak. And then Cure works to find a local Bible teaching church and hook her up there. Because not all of the churches in this country and many others, they're not all Bible teaching churches.
Not at all. There's a bunch of real
just in name only
focus going on. So, which they got from America, by the way. Seriously.
Great.
A lot of it's the big time show. Let's put the pastor in a limousine, and like even in the midst of this,
100%.
they got that from us. But imagine this though, if you're thinking, well, yeah, you can probably just put them in the local church. These people come from 400 miles away, 600 miles away. Sometimes it takes them days to get here. One woman we were talking about, what they were saying, the start of her trip was carrying her child 15 miles to get to a bus stop. Carrying. She's got no vehicle. That was the first leg. So finding a local, that's a big deal for us. Like, any other thoughts from today?
So I ended up in the playroom while you were all in the support group room, and we've talked about the children when they come in. Many of them are traumatized, whether it's because of the communities that they're in or their own families, maybe extended family trauma. They come in and they're hesitant until they realize, I think, that this is a safe place. And then they start to see other children that look like them. Many of the children that I was able to observe in the playroom are just like the children we know in our own communities, in the curiosity factor, they're looking for fun. You can kind of see a little glint in the eyes of the children that have been here a while. I have a sticker sheet that doesn't have many stickers left, and I may have started a row because a couple of the children who had faces I couldn't resist got more than one sticker.
Yeah, that happens.
So anyway, I fessed up to that and hope I haven't done anything wrong. But to know that they are children at heart, and that when you see them, or when you see your own children, you are looking at you'll see that translate. Being a child isn't a cultural thing.
Oh, right.
Being a child in a culture where there's trauma introduces a child that you won't recognize. But being a child across the board is not a cultural thing.
Yeah.
And so God designed all of us with the curiosity to seek things out, the joy of laughter and of having fun, good fun.
I played balloon volleyball.
Yeah.
We were just hitting it back and forth, but with a girl in a wheelchair, and she was delighted.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was kind of like, really?
Yeah.
She's 18.
Goodness.
But when you're used to people not interacting with you.
Yes. Yes.
So this everything here is shocking to them. So last thing, thanks for listening to this, by the way. We're just kind of processing today. On a personal level, I told you this. It's been great having you here and some radio friends, because I want to get other people as excited about it. But I did an interview last week. It was for a friend's podcast, and I really haven't seen him much in my adult years, but I knew him way back even in high school. And he's a great guy. He's like he's a leadership coach and a pastor and stuff. But he said, "Tell me about this cure thing," towards the end of the podcast. And he's like, "I know some of you are cynical about stuff, but I promise, in my experience with Brant, I can't imagine him saying something he didn't believe.
Oh.
I can't imagine him hyping something for the heck of it."
That's not you. Definitely
Right.
not you.
So that, again, it's exciting for me to have some people come here and go, "I was telling the truth." What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted validation.
Yes, I do.
You've got it right
Honestly,
there.
exactly what
Yes.
I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But it's like snuffleupagus. Like, I know, like, everybody else can't see him, but he's real.
Yeah.
It drives you crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted them to see him. I think they did eventually, and that ruined the whole show. But on Sesame Street,
Yeah, right.
everything comes back to Muppets at some level. But yeah, that made me happy.
Yeah.
So this is that. What
Yeah.
I'm saying, and more.
Yeah. If you could come and you could see what we have seen, you would give.
Yeah.
And you would keep giving.
Yeah.
Because you just can't believe that it's this good.
It's the take my money meme. I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take it.
Yeah.
Just take it.
And,
I'll find some more.
You know, we'll do our very best to tell the stories and convince you that what we have seen is what we're telling you, and that it is true.
Yes.
But it's everything I hoped it would be,
Good.
and more. It's everything I expected it to be, and more. And I can't love this enough. I really can't.
Makes me happy.
I had a little bit of an embarrassing moment with a little girl. Her name is Hannah. And I gave her a sticker, and she just kept looking at me in the eyes. And she said, "Can I take a selfie with you?" And she had a phone, and I was like, "Of course." So she said, "I'm so excited that you're here."
Yeah.
And I said, "Why are you excited that I'm here?" And she said, "Because we're so different."
Wow.
And it just made me kind of think, we're not that different inside.
Yeah.
And she made my day. I'm like, poor girl is here to get some treatments, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She just was the sweetest thing, and now putting a face with it, and then being able to talk on the radio about her and her smile, that was the most beautiful smile I've ever seen. It just made it all so real.
Did you meet patients?
I didn't meet patients.
I mean, not hospital patients.
Okay.
But you did meet patients. A girl named Patience. She's 15, and she had a big brace on her leg, so she's had neglected clubfoot. So her whole life, her legs have been twisted. So that's being taken care of. Beautiful girl. And they said that she was here recently getting her cleft palate fixed.
Yeah.
I had no idea. You can't tell one bit. She's beautiful.
Wow.
So I asked her caregiver. Now, she only has a social worker with her because she was abandoned by both parents.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, were people surprised? I was trying to ask, because they speak a different language, but she spoke a little English, the caregiver and the social worker was like, were people surprised when she came back after her cleft palate surgery, like that she looked different? And they were like, yes. And then Patience broke into this big smile, which was really nice to see. Like, imagine the pain, though.
Yeah.
Of the rejection of having this hole in your face, having a twisted leg so you can't walk, and then your parents abandon you.
Yeah.
I don't think we can imagine that.
No, and there's no quick, easy thing either. But here, now she's one of those teenagers that was sitting with these other teenage girls as friends, and now it just flashes this big, beautiful smile. So we're really glad that you listen to this, and also last thing in the children's playroom, it is so bizarre to me and so wonderful, but there's a Tim Tebow like shrine. It's all lit up. It's a jersey that he signed, and his football cleats. It's all this nice glass setting, and his helmet from the Gators. It's all Gators stuff. And then there's like orange and blue light everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just so funny because living in Florida with all my Gator friends, I'm like, I cannot escape you guys. Like, I'm in Zimbabwe in a hospital and it's Gators.
Yeah.
It's so great. Tim and his wife came here and they did a foundation and opened that, which is really cool. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the kids love it. It's just perfect.
It's bright colors, and the teaching staff that are working in that room with the kids every day, they're amazing.
It's just like, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, the joy that just emanates.
Like with excellence.
Yeah.
Excellence. So
they're serving the Lord.
Yeah,
And it
beautiful.
Shines. It's amazing.
They're all on the same team.
Yeah.
They all are. They want what's best for the kiddo, and
it's great when we're in mission together. Like, do the thing, and the other stuff can work itself out. But do the
otherwise it's
thing.
so complicated. This is not complicated.
Heal the sick and proclaim the kingdom of God.
Yes.
Thank you. Amen.
Yes.
And
What would
amen.
Jesus do? We don't have to ask.
No.
He told us. He did it. He told us do it.
Yeah.
And he said, "Be like him."
And he said that. Yeah. It's like, so okay. Mystery solved.
Okay.
He wants us to do this.
Love
That's the
everybody.
gospel in
Yeah.
one fell swoop.
Thank you for listening. If you are interested in giving, of course you can. It's cure.org. Want to heal some kids with us. The typical surgery is around $1,000, but that, honestly, like the cleft palate's a little less. There's neurosurgery that costs more, but that's a pretty good average, and it's pretty remarkably inexpensive. And when you meet these kids, you're like, worth $1,000? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's so many
no
ways.
question.
There's so many ways you can spend $1,000, and there's not a better way that you can spend $1,000 if you have it.
Yeah.
This is it.
The other thing too, a lot of Christian radio people do this. If you guys have done it, that's fine. Okay, but we do this thing. We go to, for some reason, it's, forget your latte. They always go to forget your Starbucks, like, and give it instead. I'm like, no, you can have your latte and give, probably.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like, if that's your thing, whatever, but it makes some space and then see what happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you again for listening. This has been strange and odd. Thank you for praying for Sherri back home.
Yes.
As she's recovering, and so we needed some extra content, so this is what you get. Thank you, Brooke and Meg.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah.
The Brant and Sherri Oddcast, sponsored by America's Christian Credit Union. To find out more about the show, go to BrantHansen.com.